today is another day. We're getting closer and closer till they go to the pet store, and by tomorrow we're going to be separating the females. Which means, obviously, I don't think Alex is going to be in the mothering spirit then, and doing that for Angel. So I'm going to have to be giving her some kitten's milk to kind of give her a little extra nutrition. Anyways, everybody knows by now that I'm going to start doing a line of creams. It took me, obviously, a long time to figure out what color I was actually going for, because originally it was going to be yellows and calicos, except for the fact that when I saw how beautiful these creams were, especially the solid ones, especially with long fur, and how sweet their personality and temperament is, I figured that, honestly, I kind of like these better. And so, people are wondering how you can get creams in a decently solid line of that I can actually pronounce as creams when I don't have any solid creams. And when I mean solid creams, I mean more like pure creams. Well, like I was telling people, is obviously, yes, the dark golden is a dominant gene. However, what I've also noticed is that they can be cloaked or masked after a decent amount of breeding through. And eventually it will not become a recessive gene, because obviously it's a dominant gene. Just like how dominant gene brown eyes for humans is overpowering, like say blue eyes, for example. It's kind of like that. Now, how to get my cream line? Well, I found that if you continue breeding the same colors together, you can breed out the dominant gene so that it's masked, at least. So if you only breed it to, say, a dark golden or a dominant gene color, then you might get, a much higher majority. But, as you can see here, I have 6 creams and only 3 dark goldens. People ask, why is it then it's considered a dominant gene? Well, I'll go back a little through their history on how I still have dark goldens, even though obviously the mother didn't have any black pups, and why there's a majority of cream. Well, I bred Sheila to Sean. That would be Alex's grandmother. And Sheila was a yellow. Sean was a dark golden. I took one of their pups, her mother, Sarah. She was a yellow. She still had the dark golden gene, but she was a yellow. Now, when I ended up breeding Sarah to Zach, They both carried the black gene because Sean carried the black gene and passed it down to Sarah. So, Sarah, when bred to another black, because even though Zach is white, he's a masked white, meaning he's not truly white. He's actually black, but a mutation happens where it actually turns it white even though he's black. It's called a masked or cloaked gene. Now, obviously, she had dark goldens, even though she wasn't dark golden, and Zach did not carry the dark golden gene. So, she only had 4 pups that were dark golden. Now, we're on to Alex. Alex got the black gene from both parents. Obviously why she's black. Now, you're wondering why I still have dark goldens. Obviously Sam does not carry the dark golden gene. Otherwise, Alex, when bred to Sam, would have had the majority of them be dark goldens because it's a dominant gene. But see, with her being double black and Sam being a pure cream, they ended up producing 6 pups that were creams and only 3 that were dark goldens. So, they can be bred out, but it does take generations to at least mask it so that as long as you keep to your recessive color and that recessive hamster does not carry the dark golden gene, you will end up getting very little to no dominant gened colors. Obviously, further down the line, once you actually get to where you're getting a consistent amount of that color. Now, to make it a little bit more simpler, we're going to use dog breeding, for example. Obviously, if you breed a Chihuahua to a wiener dog, it makes it a Chiweenie. However, it's not a purebred, it's a mutt, where it might have the head of a Chihuahua, or the body of a Chihuahua, or certain characteristics of the Chihuahua, or the wiener dog, versus looking consistent to a purebred Chiweenie. How to get a purebred Chiweenie, you would have to breed your mutt Chiweenie to another purebred. That pup you would have to breed to another Chiweenie, and so on and so forth, until eventually all the pups that you were getting look the same. It's kind of how it is with hamsters. If you want a color, or you want large heads, or you want long hair, or whatever, you're going to need to find hamsters that have those genes. And obviously, if you want to try and mask to the point where all your pups become the color that you want, you're going to have to make sure, or do your best to try and make sure, that the hamster that you're breeding with does not carry the dominant genes. Because that way, it will literally breed it out so that unless you bred them to obviously a hamster with a dominant gene such as these, you would consistently get the same color over and over and over again. Or the same characteristics such as long hairs and so on and so forth versus short hair. You know, goes like that. Obviously, I have these hamsters where I have the temperament that I want. They carry the long hair gene, as you can see, and they're also the color that I want. Took me 2 years to figure out that I would actually want creams, but I figured out the color that I want. So, obviously why I'm keeping Angel, because I was planning on keeping her anyways, but she's a cream. The reason why I'm also keeping Fox, that's the brown one that's squeaking. Anyways, why I'm keeping Fox is because obviously he's a male cream. So if I find a female cream or a male cream, then I can still breed to continue on making the cream line. Now it might take me quite a few more breedings to get to the point where these dark goldens don't show up in the litters. But once again, it might take me 5 more breedings, depending on if I can find hamsters that carry the dark golden gene or not. Because once again, as you can see, does she look like she might carry the dark golden? No. Do they look like they carry the dark golden? Besides those two? No, they look like they're creams. But they do indeed carry the dark golden gene. So, we're just going to ignore that noise and continue on. And so that is my little lesson on how you breed things out. Obviously, it does take time, especially if you don't have specialized breeder hamsters where they know what they already have, what genes they carry, so on and so forth. You know, it makes it a little bit more difficult when you're going for pet stores because there are no breeders around you. In fact, I don't really know of any per se that are classified as expert breeders or any kind of actual breeder that's actually going for a line instead of just breeding hamsters as they get them in the state of Minnesota itself, let alone actually near me. Because obviously there are a lot of people that breed hamsters just randomly, just to have pups, just to see them grow. They don't really go for particular colors or lines or otherwise. So I mean, there's a lot of those out there, but you know, it's a little more difficult to actually find hamsters that you know their history and what they carry. So, but like I said, it's going to be the end of this video since everybody decided to pretty much take a nap. So, toodles everyone.